Okay, sorry. Let me stop yapping. Y'all are here for the tea. And I can't lie, I'm kind of here for the tea as well. I'm here for the tea of my own stream. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Alright. So, yes, this is my cat paw, by the way. I love this cat paw cursor so much. Like, I just cannot not use it, so... very, very recently, I think like 2 or 3 days ago, Bao posted this tweet. And she was basically talking about how female content creators, especially those with a small fan base, should be very, very careful of bigger, especially bigger male streamers who might approach them in DMs on their stream, etc., etc. Let me just read the tweet. She said, "If you're an up-and-coming female content creator with a small but growing audience, and a much larger and successful male content creator approaches you out of nowhere and showers you with attention on stream, in DMs, etc., don't walk, run." This tweet caused such a huge, colossal explosion on Twitter of people being like, "How could you? You misandrist, how could you? Not all men," nerd emoji, "not all men." And it has, like, to this very moment, there were still people harping on Bao and devaluing who she is as a VTuber because they can't stomach the fact that she talked about a personal experience and turned that into something someone else should take on as advice so that they can ignore the red flags too. Like, the quote retweets were, boy oh boy. She also reiterated that just because I don't include every single nuance, exception, possibility, and variation doesn't mean we're still not having the same conversation. Stay safe, gang. Bao has so much more tact than me, because if motherfuckers were constantly twisting my words and making it out to seem that I'm public enemy number one, dog, I would not be as gracious as Bao. But she basically made this response to herself to basically explain to all the chuds that are harping on her and talking shit about her, to basically say that just because she didn't say it in a way which made you feel more comfortable does not mean that what she's trying to say means a completely different thing. Because everyone is trying to create this narrative where Bao is saying that, oh, all men are creepy, stay away from men, no one likes men. When she didn't say that at all. It literally, if you just read the tweet, it's literally her talking about a personal experience. And the fact that so many men, and I don't want to say solely men because, again, the not all men crowd, it's not all men, but a lot, if not too many men, are jumping on Bao and behaving in the same way that she is pretty much warning everybody else to look out for. You cannot tell me that Bao is saying this in bad faith when your entire argument against this is the fact that Bao is some quote-unquote honey trap. That her audience is just filled with simps because she's a big titty anime girl and her simps will ride at dawn for her no matter what. If that is your genuine rebuttal to this situation, then Bao had every right to make this tweet. I really feel like the people responding so negatively in the first place feel called out, genuinely. It really is if the shoe fits situation, because why are you getting this upset over a tweet if it has nothing to do with you or your behavior? I feel like pushing so hard for neutrality because you feel personally offended over something that is a genuine topic and a genuine issue in the VTubing / streaming sphere, it just makes you look pathetic, in my opinion. In my humblest of opinions. I don't care. Bring your pitchforks. I don't care. Cry about it. Isn't that what they say? Cry about it. Cope and seethe. We're gonna be delving into some of the replies to this tweet. I'm sure you can see some familiar faces, but I first actually want to start with... Actually, I'll start with this person, because this person and Anna's response here. Yeah, Anna, shout out, shout out. Because basically, Bao hopped on stream to further explain herself and basically talk about, you know, how people are misinterpreting her words and how people shouldn't be taking it in a farther context that it already is. So this person, Gilicious? What? I just called him G. This person basically made a criticizing mini video of Bao explaining herself and her tweet and how people are taking it too fucking seriously. And as you can see, it has gathered quite the chud response, pretty much. So I'm not gonna play the video because her stream is out there. Go support Bao. Like, go watch her stream if you want to get more context. But G basically says, I'd hate to see that this is what you like to say to your peers, while remembering you have male fans. When they give... Brother, why can't I speak? Bro, let me log the fuck in. So, G said, I'd hate to see that this is what you like to say to your peers, while remembering you have male fans when they've given you charitability. When they've given you charitability. Keep that little sentence, keep that little phrase in mind, because I'm going back to that. If you take this much issue with being called a misandrist, then stop surrounding yourself with yes men and make your point clear, idiot. I severely dislike the motion that you have to be grateful for the fan base that you have. And I don't just mean overall being thankful for having a fan base. I hate the prospect that you have to, with all obligation, be grateful and bow down to those who choose to watch you and choose to support you. When they've given you charitability. Bao is not a charity case. She didn't beg you to support her. The people that support her go out of their way to do that because they want to, because she's a cool person, she has a good personality. Obviously her streams are entertaining. And clearly, to a lot of people, she's made a very good point. 43k people agree. And probably a lot more. She's not a charity case. And she doesn't have to bow down and silence her own experiences for the sake of your comfort. I just think it's so curious how these reactionary males or male VTubers, I'm not sure if this person is a VTuber, I don't think so. They're not even a VTuber. Just like person. It's just so ironic how this reactionary person talks about Bao as if she's not a human being. And I feel like that is a repetitive cycle in which I've seen people criticizing Bao for. They don't speak about her like she's a human being with a unique experience, with, you know, this experience where she's faced misogyny in the space, where she's probably faced a lot of difficult things that she doesn't feel like she can even talk about, but she decides to come up with this experience at least. But like, she's faced so many things and she's choosing to discuss something as, I don't know, intense as misogyny in the space from the perspective of herself. And your first thought, your first action Like, again, just going back to what I was previously saying, your first action is to get defensive? What? When has getting defensive ever helped anyone? Getting defensive never makes you look better. It just makes you look bitter. Keep that in mind. But yeah, so many male VTubers, whatever you want to call it, do not treat Bao like she's a human being. Like, yeah, she's a bigger VTuber, so I guess if you want to, put her on that pedestal. I mean, I'm not, but if you want to, put her on that pedestal. Go for it. But don't pretend that misogyny is not a thing in this space. Don't pretend that Bao is sitting here and calling all men evil when she is clearly highlighting a unique experience to herself and is giving that advice out so that other women who also will face misogyny in this space, who also will face sexism in this space, who also will face gender-related discrimination in this place, she's just telling them to be careful. This guy, and mind you, I think I saw a tweet as well where this guy doesn't even stream anymore. Is it this tweet? It's not this tweet, but he doesn't even stream anymore. And not to say that it's a bad thing, like, life gets in the way, but bitch, if you gon' run your Twitter fingers, at least have some content to back it up. Because you can't be coming after Miss Bao the Whale and you don't even got no content, like, you don't got no motion like that. Like, you're just talking just to talk, bro. You're really talking just to talk. It has to be rage bait. Oh my god. It has to be rage bait. And we all fell for it. Because holy shit. I have seen Floki get slammed multiple times across the timeline. And it's honestly pretty fucking deserved. Especially because this isn't the only tweet. Like, bro was going on and on and on and on and on and on. Bro is going on and on and on and on and on about the situation. Like, bro, it gets to a point where you have to be bored. Like, I have gotten into scuffles with VTubers like Kirsch, for example. Bro, I did not tweet about her this much. Even when her little cult was coming after me and trying to dunk on my ass, I did not give her this much time of day. At least not in my own, like, brother. Oh, sorry. Brother. Oh my god, there's more. There's more. Oh, that's Hassan. There's more. Like, let it go, let it rest. I think it's just super fucking interesting that every single time a woman tries to display misogyny, tries to warn, be cautious of men and how they can treat women in a male-dominated sphere, which is gaming, all of a sudden it's misandry this, misandry that. Brother. If anything, bitch, you're the performative one. Y'all are the performative ones. And that's, but this is a point that I really want to get into as well. That every single fucking time a woman has an experience against a man or against men, people in this sphere do very, very little to hold their peers accountable. Holding people accountable is approaching them in private, laying out the fact that, hey, this thing that you did is fucking wrong. This thing that you did is unacceptable. A lot of you don't approach that with that mindset. A lot of you do not distance yourselves and isolate yourself from people who are doing active harm to the community. Only time you ever bring up misandry, as far as I've seen, and the only time you ever criticize those for misandry is when a woman speaks about misogyny. It is a very grating pattern that I've noticed, and it's not just to do with misandry. I believe that is to just do with like men's feelings overall. I rarely ever see anybody talk about men or men's feelings or male VTubers when it isn't to bring down another minority. I think there is a very prevalent pattern, especially during Pride Month. Like, Pride Month is a sole example of this, where queer people have a month to celebrate themselves, to celebrate their achievements, to uplift each other, celebrate our freedom, and to all around enjoy a month where queer pride is important. But every single time without fail, there are male VTubers and pick-me girl VTubers, because every single time a minority gets involved, there's the very few set of pick-me girls that would dick ride men and not even listen to what the woman is trying to say in regards to a very wide and shared experience. Every single time these men and these pick-me girls would be like, oh, but what about Men's Mental Health Month? Oh my gosh, of course, queer people taking over Men's Mental Health Month. Baby, no one is saying you can't have Men's Mental Health Month. But it's just so interesting that the only reason why you bring up Men's Mental Health Month is because Pride Month is happening. Because a minority is finally having a space to celebrate themselves. It's the same shit with Bao highlighting her misogyny, and then rochacha men come in and be like, no, it's just misogyny. No, you just hate men. No, baby. She's a minority trying to speak up on a very, very widely shared experience.